you are
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 306, being recorded and going live on May 7th, 2025. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
We got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hi. This thing on?
It's on. It's
okay.
on.
I don't know if you're recording through it, but it's on. So
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
the invite
Appreciate
for
it.
this week, so you're good
Thanks.
to go, good to clear. We got Ernie the Fallen Fed. Hopefully, he'll be joining us soon. I mean, if he wants to talk some Star Wars in his life, he's got to come over.
Who knows?
I mean, Jesus. So,
Look, this 500 follower chase is just killing me.
geez, man. I mean, how
Wrap
long?
this
How long?
up.
Yeah. Our newest member is live right here, sitting next to me. SD17 is our mascot for the channel. If you want to see the complete build and everything, head over to Tashi Station YouTube, and you'll see it all in its glory. I know this is going to be a makeshift stand. He's kind of hard to see, kind of blends in with my background, but I'm gonna have to change things now and make it real prominent and get him on the show properly. But
Get him his own camera. We'll give him a box.
Right.
Put him in Ernie's slot.
I'm gonna put him in Ernie's slot. Yeah, as a makeshift, and then
Yeah.
absolutely.
just go to him every now and then. You got anything to say? And he says nothing. Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like Geode, right?
Yeah,
I have 17 ideas for next week. Just let me note them down real fast. So
It's hilarious.
I'll talk to you guys later after the show.
Exactly. Well, of course, guys. I mean, we've had a stellar Star Wars week to really kind of go into it and talk about. But first we have to celebrate our Shadow Council and everybody who's here with us live being digested in the pit. So Scott, that's all you, man.
All right, buddy. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a great May 4th. Sunday was our big event up here at the Better Days bar. We had a lot of great people showed up. We had Alexander Storm from Shadow Nose Network. We had who else we had? We had Chet Maddox in there. We had a whole bunch of new people that we'd never seen before. And our buddy Rhino Hobbies came up and got to hang out with him. Took Rhino Hobbies shopping the next day. He and I went on the hunt.
Got some new clothes. Got
I know.
Got tea.
We had matching shirts and stuff. We got our nails did. Anyway, not really.
Draven, Bounty Hunter B&B, whole bunch of people from online.
Yeah, absolutely awesome.
Lots of fun.
As a matter of fact, the very first name here on our
no Gordon. I want to mention that though. Where the hell?
No Gordon. But AJ from the Forbidden Panel was there hanging out with everybody. So that was awesome. Brandon and Anya Epler, thank you for being a member of our Shadow Council. Same to you, Brian C., Cliff, Commander Bly, Commander Cook, Crystal E., who was supposed to be there but didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was rain. I don't know, scary rain.
Boo.
Don the Dad Dorn was there. He was there in force. He was holding down the fort with my lady Julie. They didn't win.
They were tanking the damn trivia, dude.
Gosh.
On your table, bro.
She's gonna come in here and throw something at me. But also, thank you to Eric Grubb, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Obi Sean Kenobi, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Muff Tech is back, Nicholas Schaefer, and a special shout out to Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast. Your name is going to be back on the list next week whenever I have 10 seconds. Julie just sent me a text that says at least no one can say that I'm a cheater with access to... Julie just sent me a text saying at least she's not a cheater. Yes, darling. All right. Anyway, so if you want to join the Shadow Council, just log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest podcast and donate a couple of bucks. All goes back into the making of this show and to events like the one we just had. We filled 3 giant boxes filled with toys that went immediately to Chips for Kids. The Chips for Kids representative was there. It was so much fun. And Chris, our very own Grand Admiral Franz here, he killed it as always with the being our trivia MC.
He's going to be our official maitre d' from now on. I'm just going to be
how nice I am on the show. I'm just as nice in person.
Yeah. He
really is, folks.
Nobody cried. That was
good.
And a couple close ones. One quit. But he gave me a hug.
You went over there and gave him a high five a little bit later.
When he quit and was playing shuffleboard.
I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the people that when you take last place, you also get a prize. And those people were so very happy to get their prize.
They had a good old time.
They did. So a good time was happening.
Somebody in here just asked a minute ago, what was our hardest question? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. When we were going through it, the first round, everybody was cocky, like, we don't need multiple choice. I'm all right. Just hold on then. I said, you're going to be begging me for a minute. Then they started getting harder. They started asking. I started saying no.
Yeah.
But then there was the point when you had to give it.
Third round is where that's when you weed them out. The Jedi Masters from the Padawans. It's like,
the winning team was 28 out of 30.
Yeah. 28 out of 30 questions. Very, very impressive.
Well, 3 teams right there.
Yeah.
We had 2 28s and 2 27s that had to duke it off for first,
2-way tie for first and second, 2-way tie for third, and we had
to
use our bonus questions.
If there was no multiple choice, they'd have both got like 17.
Yeah,
basically. I will say that Hal Runner, we are going to take all the questions that we had on May 4th, and it's going to be one of our blocks of trivia shows that you could kind of play as solo or as a group. So you will have those questions that we absolutely used. I
tell you, we did use our favorite.
Yes. How many horns on Darth Maul's head?
The last question of the night.
Come on, people. That's a good one for the chat there. How many horns on Darth Maul's head?
Top of your head question. Just do it.
Exactly. Top of your head question. I like that. All right. Hey.
Whoa.
Yeah, but it was a great time. So thank you to everybody that showed up. Thank you to Better Days for actually hosting it. You guys were awesome.
Yeah,
The drinks, the lightsaber shots were awesome. Those little, I don't know what the hell those things were, but they looked like they lit up. It was really cool.
No, I'm glad that we got to do a always a May 4th themed event, trivia, charity, everything. And again, we kind of tell everybody to, if you can't make it out to our event or have your own, do your own thing, because May 4th is something.
No, sit at home and sulk that you weren't hanging out with the digest.
That too, and then make some special plates, drinks, and stuff, and
watch Tales of the Underworld 6 times.
That's right.
Yes,
at least.
But should do you want to go ahead and, since I did all the talking, do you want to go ahead and shout out the pit?
Oh, the pit. I was just trying to segue. Look at me.
I know. Look at you.
Let's roll. I attempted a segue before we did the housekeeping. My bad.
No problem. Well, we've got, I know that we probably have a few that hit in there early, but Don the Dad Dorn in there. He's got the Disney Channel. He binge watched all Andor.
So that's a lot of Andor.
That's 9 hours worth of Andor.
And I'm sorry, but some of it's a chore.
I know. He might need
none of it's a chore. Damn it.
Shut up, dude. Some of it's a chore. You can't even lie.
Our buddy Rhino Hobbies is there, of course. We've got Basil G, Adam S. Who else? We got No One Watches Artie in there.
Sure they do.
We watch you. Douglas Tupper's in there. Commander Bly is in there. Santo 1414. Stu John Jedi. Who else? We're going. Rick Jones is checking in. We've got Dr. Brantley. Sorry you missed the trivia. Yeah, man, we were waiting for the entire Shadow Nose crew to show up, but we'll do it again.
You were missed, but
just hitch a ride with one of the guys and sleep on the way back home. Let's see. We got Hal Runner, right? We got SKN. The whole entire network is checking in, of course.
All of them.
Chet Maddox in there. Let's see. I'm cruising. Keep on cruising.
You've been cruising this whole time. This is your first lull. I was impressed.
Well, I'm because now they're on repeat. So everybody, I think I got everybody. Yeah. Oh, there's Alexander Storm. Yes, the Alex is always fun to hang out with, man. And we're gonna do a lot more collaborations and everything else going on. So of course, we got Meeks in there saying what's up. Now, as people start,
the correct answer is 10. There we
10.
Go.
Remember that, guys. 10 horns on Darth Maul's head. That's gonna probably be
almost every trivia forever. It will show up. Right?
It was one of our tiebreakers. I don't know if we used it or not.
If anything, it's like one of our little Easter eggs.
It is. Right? It's a great story
our
behind it too.
And
it was a Trivia Pursuit that Chris and I used to play, and we're like, huh? It was just great. It's such a great random question that we
1999 Trivial.
Yeah.
It's stuck since, because it was like, that's a stupid question to ask.
Oh,
who counted the horns on his head?
Exactly. Hal Runner, I'm sorry if I forgot you, but you're always there, and you're always here. So
until you're banned.
Until you're banned.
Your daily ban.
Yeah. Until you say something stupid.
Yeah. Well, first off, when we get into the Andor talk, we are going to spoil it just to kind of
the whole damn thing.
The whole thing. We're not holding back, so we will give you that warning to either catch us on the replay or when we get into the Andor talk, of course. But first, May 4th didn't just give us probably the best Andor ever, or this week. We've got Tales from the Underworld that dropped. And what have we been talking about, Chris? What have we been asking for about Asajj Ventress? Like, what?
Come in and let's get in the beginning of the path. Let's go. Let's talk about the path. Let's connect it to Kenobi. Let's connect it to Qui-Gon. Let's find out how she came back from Dark Disciple. And what did it start with? Holy shit. I was in the text immediately. I'm all 5 seconds. I'm already in. 30 seconds, I'm in tears from like my emotions are going. I'm like, oh, here we go. I haven't felt that the first 2 weeks of Andor. I've been sad about Star Wars.
Right.
You give me been the first minute of that the intro, right? The soft opener, hard opener, really. It was the opening. Was it. I was like, that's all I needed, bro.
It was a tie-in from is that the first time the novels have been really tied in like this?
That? You've seen it? They played out they played out the scene. And I couldn't have been happier, dude. That was rad. I even like how it went. I mean, I would have liked to see them connect, but I think there's a story to be told. This feels like a sequel and a prequel.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? Like you're right. You're just setting us up to let us know she's back and she's about to have a show with Quinlan. That's what we've been asking for.
But
right?
the whole thing about her Asajj, again, we're spoiling this, so
Yeah.
Dark Disciple, straight from Dark Disciple. That book is epic. You got to read it. And listen, we kind of broke it down a little bit, but Asajj died in that book, and this is how she came back into the Bad Batch.
And in the book, he takes her to the waters, right?
Yeah.
Just like he does.
Played out.
He drops her in, and they walk away, just like that. What we didn't see was the part where she's told by Mother Townsend to wake up, and then she gives her a choice. You can go to the living, but you have to give up him, or you can stay here with your sisters. And boom, she goes out, and he walks away, and she can't get to him. Even by the end, she doesn't. You know what I mean? So it's a like soldier soul kind of stuff, right? You can have this, but you can't have this.
What's that? Yeah, Orpheus walking down the tunnel. You know, he can have his wife as long as he doesn't turn around and look back and see her. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, Howlrunner's saying this to me, can we get Morgan Elsbeth? I'm Morgan Elsbeth back, but no, it was because Quinlan's love, the teardrop hit Asajj's hand. She went into the life pool, and basically that was the choice, I think, because it was a very deliberate shot
moment.
Yeah, it was a deliberate shot, right? So Morgan Elsbeth needs to fall in love first, and I think that for that to be a choice, because I think that was a very, very major part, and I like that, because then it's not just anybody could just be thrown, just resurrect and all that stuff, right? I always had a problem with cloning and that aspect of it, like kill them, just bring them back whenever we want, just, and that's how we were kind of scared about Asajj's return. You can't just bring her back. I mean,
there had to be some magic. There had to be
somehow. Somehow she just came back.
Right.
And the paradox of she cannot be with Quinlan, but she can. And so now she's dedicated the rest of her life to helping out Jedi, the path. She's directly, involved in it. I think it's heartbreaking, but it's her story. It's Asajj's story, man. It's really good.
It was perfect. Hey, quick pause. When you said that somehow Palpatine comes back, that's the next one I need.
Yeah,
give us
I 100% agree.
Badass tales for that. And so sorry, I didn't mean to take us off.
No, you're right.
That hit me like a whoa.
Tales from Exegol.
Well, Tales of the Sith.
Yeah,
right. We had Tales of the Empire,
Beyond, Tales from Death, Tales of the Resurrected, Tales of anything like that.
Exegol would be great.
Back. You see how Maul comes. Oh, you saw how Maul comes back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
With Morgan and Thrawn.
This episode, dude. And even the little new Jedi, right? The youngling kid that I was like, Scott was thinking maybe Kanan earlier, and I was like, nah, it wouldn't be Kanan. And then he starts talking, and dude, if his voice didn't sound kind of like Kanan, I was like, somebody's trying to rip off Freddie Prinze Jr. here, but it didn't look right.
Right. The eye colors weren't the same. If he had bright blue eyes, it'd be like, oh.
Right.
It was like the voice was throwing me off. The way his cockiness was throwing me up. I like the character. I like Kanan, but I like the character. I like how that worked. I loved when he kept bugging. What was her name? What's her name? What's your name? You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. And her speech about, you know who I am.
Yes.
I was Dooku's lead assassin.
Kill
people you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is a really good.
Along with like Ahsoka, I think Asajj is up there in the top character arcs of Star Wars that came from Clone Wars. Yeah, I mean, dude, like, 100%
characters.
I like her look. I like her voice. I liked the way she fights. I like everything about her. Asajj has always been a hit for me.
Me too.
Ahsoka took 3 seasons of Clone Wars to be a hit.
That's right. Asajj, the 2 versions of Asajj too. I like the Asajj in the digital one, right?
Yeah,
Traskovsky, whatever the hell.
Yeah,
right. The 2D one. She was cool in that one too.
Fantastic, dude.
Yeah, even fleshed out more later. She's a great character. I love that character. So
maybe Gungan Tales.
I did want to bring up the fact that the last time we saw animation, remember, it was Bad Batch, was the last real warring animation we saw, where people were shooting at each other, but we were stunning everybody. Everybody was stunning everybody.
Very frustrating.
That's gone. They are burning holes in people's chests and stuff. I mean, there was one scene where a stormtrooper was pulled over and he was hit like 4 times before they and he's like, just death throws.
I mean,
animation is back. Animation is
really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys haven't seen that one, check that out. All of these tales are fantastic. I mean, the Tales of the Empire was a ripoff because
it was just because that is more.
Was it the Empire? Is that what it was?
Empire.
Yeah, it was.
Empire. Yeah. It was like Empire with no Empire stuff, and then so it's more.
Yeah, you forgot the Empire. If you'd have done that, it'd been straight.
It wasn't trash. It just wasn't. It wasn't
it didn't
need
hit
to be told.
Oh,
The stories there didn't need to be told.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cad Bane was really cool. I've always liked Cad Bane, and I thought that story was, like I said, very, very Western, very
I didn't expect it.
No, I didn't expect to, but I do love that whole fact of like Cad Bane taking on his predecessor,
His mentor. Yeah,
like.
Well, it was like
guy,
Last Crusade, right? Like as soon as you seen him,
yes.
that vibe. I'm like, oh wait,
took the hat.
Yeah, the
toothpick, the whole mannerisms. I thought that was a very cool dude. First off, Ernie Cad Bane has a son. All right, so Book of Fett 2 is confirmed, where the son comes and gets revenge because
he killing my dad.
Boba Fett killed my daddy.
That's the beeping going off.
Yes.
The call to the son.
The son is trying to find him. He's calling him. He's not answering. Now he's going to track him down. Boom.
So, guess which ones I haven't watched yet.
Dude, come on,
Ernie.
This is a spoiler
you're going to get
show.
Spoiled anyway. So you're lucky you missed
get caught up. Yeah,
you missed the Asajj problem.
Yeah.
So let me go back and tell you about Asajj.
No, I watched Asajj.
Oh,
I haven't watched the Cad Bane stuff.
Gotcha.
So good.
So good.
The Asajj stuff is great. The
Yes.
Cad Bane was good. It wasn't great, but it was really good. Okay. So I'm not angry about any of it.
I thought Asajj was really good.
Yeah, Asajj is up there in all the stories, right? But that's again because the character, and we know the backstory and what she need, all this stuff. But that was like one of the top tales for sure. That and Dooku. But as far as an arc, like a short arc, that's a great day of watching.
Wait a second here. Basil G is bringing up a point now because that's having me think, right? Because like when we saw,
I did know, they were troopers. This is after
they were troopers because when we first met Asajj, it was in Bad Batch season 3,
right?
Coming back, so
she's already dealt with the Bad Batch. This is a couple years.
Oh, so this is okay. So the points of how like how her resurrection and then her coming back.
Yes, and it's a time jump.
Okay,
in show.
So that's how we're playing it because of Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers give us a definitive time frame of what
she dies before Order 66.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, because Quinlan's there and Obi-Wan's there and everything. So
it's her resurrection was it was before the Clone Wars even ended. Dooku was a lot. I mean,
so
Dooku
that's why then you jump to the Stormtroopers. You have a big time jump.
Yeah. So this is it does take place after. I would say the time jump does take place after Bad Batch season 3 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the first thing though was out of all the tales, right? I put every story kind of individually. Like I think Dooku is like probably the number one still to this day. Dooku is
I watched it the other day after I watched that.
It is so powerful and good. And I'd put Asajj right there with Ahsoka. So I'm kind of teetering Asajj Ahsoka, like right in that number 2-3 spot.
I didn't need Ahsoka's first episode.
Right.
Take away her origin. The baby Ahsoka with grandma. It was fine, but it was like, okay. The other ones were great. The third one's the one, right? The training is the key.
Yeah, that one was the key because that was with Rex. That was with the Inquisitor, you know, and
we know how she survived the episode.
Yeah. But man, what like I was really I mean I knew that we were going to get a good story, especially with these two characters. And like I said, right off the bat, what we needed was the answers of why she's back and how she's back. And I think they answered it really well. And again, and they put that caveat on it where she can't just seek out Quinlan because she could have. She saw the ship take off. She could have, but she can't, right? That's her thing. I wonder what would happen if she does. Is it like her soul gets revoked if she goes after, you know what I mean? Like,
how Disney princess are we going to get, right?
If they kiss within 24 hours, she gets to stay.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that would have been easy. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
Quinlan would have been all over that.
Yeah. Quinlan's a living, breathing man. So yeah. You
know. I just it puts me in a mood because I think we were mentioning this too. Like we don't want this to be the end of the Asajj animation style moving forward. Like we wanted that Omega Asajj, the path. Quinn, like there's a story that it just set up like big time.
Yeah, this can't be done. That was awesome.
It's not just Jedi's rescuing Jedi's Underground Railroad. Now we've got Quinlan and Asajj's drama story.
Well, like just as we talked about Ahsoka has had even a meaning, that last one. I hope these are all meaning. Or something that we're gonna see future wise.
Yeah.
You know, another Jedi tales with him.
Right.
Yeah, I'm worried that it does. Right? If it wasn't for Asajj being in it, you could call it a day.
Yeah.
Right? Knowing Quinlan was part of it, hearing that, doing this, and how far it's been. But since Asajj and Quinlan have this history and there, you have to have it keep going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could say that just linked it perfectly fine to Kenobi, and we're cool. You know,
exactly.
We know Quinlan started it. It's early, but the Asajj piece makes it a necessity to keep going.
Yeah. I agree, Adam. Filoni does stuff for a reason. I don't think we've seen the last time. I'm hoping.
And those are some of his favorite characters, both of those.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You know?
Animation should always be a staple in Star Wars, anything. Call it Bad Batch, whatever. I don't care. This kind of revitalized that again.
It's the best stuff we get.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I mean, notwithstanding yesterday.
I mean,
what?
For God's sake. Don't feed her after midnight. Guys. All right. Andor. Spoiler, this is the time we're going to talk Andor. I know Mando Mike checked in real fast. He hasn't seen any of this, so if he's going to catch us on the replay. So again, this is your kind of warning that we're going to dive into Andor. And Ernie, are you caught up on Andor?
Yeah, I'm hella tired.
I'm still shaking.
I went and saw Thunderbolts.
Yeah, good movie.
And then it was so great. And then my phone started blowing up from people of, God, I love Star Wars. Star Wars is back. And I was like, oh, crap. And so I turned it on to because I started at 10 something. It was 10:30 or something. Yeah. And I was like, okay, nope. Had to watch it all the way through. So beautiful.
6 o'clock came and I hit play. Boom.
So
I was
beautiful
on it, and as we do every week, we've done this for the first 2 weeks. Let's do this again. Let's give our score for this block, and then maybe we can tie that into the overall block, because like I said, Chris, if it's still downhill trajectory or is it evening out? But I was at 9 out of 10 the first week, 9 out of 10 the second week. I'm at a 9.8 this week. Can't give it a 10 because you can't it, right? I mean, but if
getting close,
I'm getting this block a 10. I don't care. It was beginning to end to me. I had emotions through every episode, every 50 minutes. I was like, man, episode 8, dude, the Gorman massacre was so brutal and so and we talked about this about a rated R, stuff, and I 100% agree with Chris on this too, is that this is the rated R stuff that we need, the violence, the content, right? It was just brutal, especially when the K2 droids came in. I mean, we'll talk about we'll break it down, but damn,
when
dude,
it mattered, when it's not gratuitous, it was for a purpose. It was it was perfect.
Yeah, and then
not the whole. Oh, sorry, they're probably spoiling my score here.
No, I mean, then the Mon stuff. It was just that, and then the emotions came out with the Mon stuff. It was like, okay, wow. And then, of course, we got hit very, very early on with some Force stuff. So I'm at overall, I guess.
Did they add magic into a Star Wars show? What?
I mean, so I guess my score averaged out to 9.5, but a 10 for this block, dude. I'm goddamn, that was good stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this episode block 10 dead Gormans. This one gets 10 dead Gormans.
Nice.
It was that good. So I agree with everything you say. It's like Commander Bly said right there. Who knew Cyril had a beast mode? Seriously, that guy was almost unstoppable. That was insane.
Every character had a great final or moment or just wow, Oscars, just Oscars. You know what I mean?
It was great.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Benjamin Pratt. Stu John, because I bought it. I bought it.
I was telling you in the chat, I'm mad about the last 20-something years now.
Yeah, now let's replace Pratt.
I'm not mad he got checked and traded out. I'm upset we didn't have Ben Bratt the whole time.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, let's go with Ernie. Ernie, what say you?
Yeah, a 9, definitely.
Oh,
it was beautifully done. I understand what you guys are saying. They're perfect and everything, but there was no Boba Fett in here. But it was great. It was, I agree with what everybody is saying. The cinematography in this, the music, the acting, the everything. Rick Jones, was that best fist fight? Yeah, it was crazy, right?
It was Daredevil style.
It was.
Everybody in here, right? they made it. It's so cool that Star Wars has been this fantasy to us, right? But this Andor makes stuff so real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, of situations that people can get in or stuff that's going on. And it was wow.
Which
I really
can be seen as a fault in some people's eyes, you know, if it gets a little too real. But I mean, but
we're still in Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Switching it was, you know, stormtroopers.
Yes, there are lines.
When have we ever seen stormtroopers menacing? Yeah, and I felt the menacing stormtroopers for the first time. Usually it's stormtroopers like, oh, you'll get through. It's stormtroopers. No,
right.
Oh my God, what are they going to do?
They were hitting things.
And
it's like battle droids, right?
Well, about the
1,000 battle droids. I got this.
Those K2s, dude, were just
whoa. Come on, dude.
Whoa. Chasing after you? Damn it.
Yeah.
And for the now this is the third time in Star Wars I saw more bigger people in Star Wars. That was awesome. There was some fat Star Wars people in there. And I'm
there
like,
you go.
Bring on my cosplay. That's the only thing ever that's missing. We've had Jet Porkins. We had the one in Acolyte, who was a Jedi. And then there was some backgrounds in there. I saw a dude in Imperial. I don't know if you caught it, Chris. He's sitting in, so that was the only bad thing. The biggest dude in an Imperial suit was sitting on top of a case in the corner. He wasn't standing, but he's sitting on top of a case.
It's real life, man.
Yeah. And he had his hat, and I was like, he's
got tenure. He's got seniority. Nobody's messing with that guy. You can't do nothing about him anymore, you know?
Yes.
Hey, William Rodriguez.
Nobody's going to get palps involved.
Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Yeah, go watch it and then hit us on the replay and put your comments in the section below, because I mean, this is something that I think we're going to be talking about for a long time. That actually had some really cool impact. And like I said, I'm dying to hear Chris's thoughts on. I know some of it because we text, right? But I'm dying to really to get into it.
I couldn't shut it off.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we've all done, and I'm sorry, we've hit some shows in the past where it's like,
absolutely.
Oh, guys, sorry, it hit 11. I had to go to bed.
Right.
I caught it this morning. No.
Yeah. You know, I was like, I got stuff to do, but I can't.
Yeah. And loud. Oh, I know I pissed everybody off because I just had to have it so loud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was great.
All right, Chris, your turn.
9.5.
Whoa!
I told you, I'm not.
No,
I'm not stuck in the ground.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I told you can turn things around. Season 7 Clone Wars sucked until Ahsoka showed up. Now season 7 is like the greatest season, right? It's one of those things. I don't agree with some stuff that happened in the beginning. The pacing was off. Here we go. I get a little bit of magic in there. The pacing is better. The action is crazy. Everything makes sense. It flowed well. It was absolutely well done, start to finish. I have no complaints. Really, the only reason I know what a 10 is when I'll see it. I haven't. Know what I mean? And that's the thing. It didn't feel like a 10. Maybe it's because they haven't got BMO sorted out yet, and that's bugging me.
Dude,
but, you know,
we'll talk about B2. I'm very frustrated. I'm very hurt
that he hasn't showed up.
He's not with Andor. Like it's 3 years now.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. That did it. It's funny. You said when you said 3 years, they do have to remind me once in a while that happened.
Yeah.
Right. Like the time jump. I know it says it in the very beginning, but while you're watching it, you're kind of like, this just happened. You're like, oh no, that happened 2 years ago when Tay died. Oh no, the daughter is completely married and gone for 2 years.
Yes.
Where's Perrin right now? Because we haven't seen him in a year.
Right.
You know, all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh wait, it wasn't yesterday.
That's kind of what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the recrimination, not the recrimination, but the retaliation from the Empire towards Mon Mothma's family, right? I could see them now hunting down Perrin and taking out Skulden and all that, because you know they are related. You know
they're going to.
You're right.
After this now. Yes.
Yeah. And that's how I felt with Mon Let Everything Go when that dance was like, if I'm going to be a part of this big thing, her rebirth was that daughter emotionally detached from her husband, her daughter, everybody, even her best friend that Luthen killed. Like she just emotionally detached because the rebellion meant something bigger. It was a bigger picture thing. And that's why it's more impactful. Yeah. They'll go after her stuff. And she made that decision to be like, I'm going this way. You know, it's an emotional thing. Yeah.
I think what I felt from Mon was we really thought that she was so important to this, right? We've always saw her as the leader, and I think we saw her grow into her role. that speech was so felt, and then the after. The death that she saw, the scaredness, like she had to deal with it, and now I think she realized
the political realm to the
this is correct.
militant
This is
realm.
what it's been exactly. This is what it's been about. And she had no idea. She thought it was more of the, like you're saying, the political.
Yeah, I'm going to do a speech. People are going to join it. No, this is it's
now she has to be in that side of it, and it's
exactly.
Crazy. I liked Mom today.
They immediately came after her to kill her. That was crazy. That was just.
I mean, this is the state of oppression, man. Like bugs everywhere, spies everywhere, no matter what. Even like Bail Organa himself wasn't compromised, but his team was, and the team knew that to capture her and then whisk her off. I'm sure that Luthen didn't give them the details as far as because that's the whole again, and we'll get into it. It's why Rebels picks up right after this leaves off. They're not taking her to Yavin 4. The Ghost Crew is
Gold Squadron.
Yeah. So. And I thought that parallel was great. I was going to talk a little bit about that time shift too, how it's like it, and I was agreeing with Chris last week about like, it's a little bit too jarring and kind of like, you know what, it's like, because the blocks were setting things up and it's setting things up very slow. And you have to remember yourself. It was that year. But, and this episode, this week, it was like, it made sense why a time jump made it work. Now
it did.
Every other series, the whole series takes place within a week or whatever. And there's not very many, time just doesn't let things settle in, right? Every time we see Cyril and Dedra, something's changed. They've gotten promoted. They're in this bigger position of power. Even the mom, like there's things that are changing. Even Andor himself, that conflict where he's like in it, not in it, no, and it's kind of like this. And I think I get it now. Like I get it. It's like, okay, I think the time jumps. This kind of blocking works best. And I like that we got these 3 episodes today.
Yeah.
Yesterday versus every week, because even in how good they were, you lose some of that waiting 7 days to see.
Yeah. This one felt like a movie. I don't see it as episodes. What were
You're
they?
right, dude.
7,
You're right.
8, 9. I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
The other ones I can see different episodes in them. This one just flowed.
Yeah.
I can tell you which part was in which episode at this point,
Yeah. And Bale, I mean, like Rick Jones, Bale was really good. Like Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
I bought it. Like he was talking.
El Gallo Negro.
I bought it, dude. Like I was like, put myself. I'm like, that's Bale. That's Bale Organa.
I had no problem with that change at all.
No. I thought he was gonna stand up, dude, and throw up the Vatos Locos forever. Right when he did, and I was like, do it, fool. So
that would have taken me out, Bernie. That would have taken me right out.
That would have put me even more. I'm like, oh, this was gonna get crazy right now. That would have put me in more. He is so good.
He was good. I loved his little speech there too, and how he broke down the piece of legislature that would let him do what he's about to do, and threw in the proof that it was an emergency because so and so just said it 16 times,
right?
And it was like, I'm like, here we go. That was pretty slick. I like that writing in there too.
It was like, and like you have to go. You have to be the face of the rebellion and call out to the alliance. There's the pockets everywhere. You've got to make that speech. I'm going to stay here.
I got to stay.
Yeah, I got to stay.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem with that is Rebels season 3, 18, right? Is he's with Gold Squadron or on Home 1.
Is he there?
That's the only problem.
He says that though, but we don't know the events after. Well, I mean,
he might have to run too because he's on Yavin by.
Oh, well, I totally thought that because he was the one who brought her to the stage. So you would think they're together.
Yeah, his plan was to stay.
He had said in the beginning, that I'm fine. I'm covered. I will deny I'll put my head down whenever you start talking.
Right.
So,
and he did.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I feel that was so. I'm sorry. I don't know about you guys, but I was yelling at the TV last night when I was up watching it. When she ends with the monster is Palpatine, oh my god,
that was great. The monster is Palpatine, huge.
Yes, I was like, oh my god. She said
that entire sequence. I'm trying to turn everything off to that room, the little control. Every Imperial room is cool. The whole running around the Senate, I love every bit, and the outside of the Senate looked great.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think
yes,
everything about it was cool. I really couldn't bitch about this episode if I tried.
I really felt like I said it was established. Like, and I will say this too. Besides, like season 1 when we had the ISB and it was like this established room and that the white logo and everything was like kind of getting there. this one really, and it was like I was like, okay, I know Chris has the problem of putting us in that world of Star Wars sometimes, right? Like it's little bit too distant, right? And I was looking at this week, and I'm like, there's a stark difference between the first 6 to this one because of what you just said.
Super Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it had everything. It had X-wings, it had TIE fighters, it had, I mean, like I said, the Imperial cities, like Coruscant, everything was just the ISB's control room.
Right, you know, you had the
Senate. We got the Senate.
You know how real and menacing that TIE fighter sound is?
Oh, dude.
I go to Batu all the time, and I still hear it, and I
duck every time.
Day, yes. I have been there over and over to Galaxy's Edge.
Has me looking up now.
And you still...
Yeah, every time.
Oh.
One of them's got an exhaust problem because it didn't sound right.
It was super loud,
I hate to be that nerd, but one of them was too.
No, it was. That was the Cholo with the modified tailpipe and everything.
He's got a Flowmaster on it.
Yes,
hole in his catalytic converter.
Like, let me go around again. Mine's super loud, bro. And he was.
He's got pipes, just straight pipes on his tire.
Yeah,
straight out the bottom of the wings.
Yeah.
It was.
It was for 100%. The first tie that came across was way too deep, and I'm glad you said it. I'm way too much of a nerd. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
Oh
yeah, no, Commander Bly. There were stairwells with railings. Trash, not my Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I mean, what are they thinking?
Yeah, not cool.
Okay, but and I kind of want to take this in a little bit of a stride, like Andor's from these 3 episodes. Andor with still in conflict and still doing missions and hurt, right? And we come across this Force healer. A Force healer. She's not a Jedi, but she's. Perfect. I mean, we know about this Force healing stuff, right? It was established in the sequels.
Grogu and Rey. Grogu did it first.
Grogu did it first.
Yeah.
So and not clairvoyant, but a sense of like because the first thing I saw on the internet was like, this is Andor Force sensitive, right? That's the first thing.
Oh, that's not how I saw
and I don't think so, because I think it was the fact that, like, when she told Bix about Andor, is like, he is everything. There's no set path, meaning he's taken everything with him to become the person instead of.
Oh, I took it as a direct path.
Oh, well, it's but her thing was he's taking everything with him that he's learning from day one, basically.
Yeah. He's collecting.
Like I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
This path to rebellion and being a leader, a more than a leader, was a very powerful moment in that she saw in him, because again, everything flashed forward to Rogue One to me on how him and Jyn Erso are responsible for the rebellion winning and blowing up the Death. Everything. It was like cool. It was like, all right, dude, like this is awesome. Andor has a path. He has a destiny. You know, and
it's a destiny. He's collecting things on the way to give him knowledge, to make him feel lost, to
so he can win the boss fight. So he can win the
boss exactly. Right. Leveled up. He's leveling up every time.
He's leveling up. Exactly.
I did like that explanation, but I do like how he was upset about it.
Oh,
and I love how he threw in of his mom, basically Marva, would have hated this.
Right.
No,
they're not Force people, apparently. Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. I love they gave us that side of it, that he still has that connection there. And he was upset about it.
It's because it's almost like an absolute, right? Like Luthen is boom, I'm in this to win it. And Martha, same thing. But Marva was like, there's no question. Andor's like, look, I'm gonna fight, but let's go out and let's leave this place and vacation somewhere. Let's go to the Winchester and let this whole thing blow over. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? That's what he's been wanting. It's what he wanted to do the whole time. And I absolutely love the fact that Bix saw that conflict, made the choice to leave Andor, because if she stayed, he would just be fighting for her. And obviously she believed in that, what that Force healer was saying is like, he's got to be by himself.
In the cause too.
Yes.
Remember, they made a point of that how committed, because Vel came by earlier and said, I know how committed you are. We're not here to see you. We're here to see what we can do about Cassian.
Exactly.
You know, he's not seeing the same path you are. And so she had that talk. They saw this Force healer. They gave him the same. It was all neat. That was cool. I didn't need Jedi. That was just some magic.
It just put things in the world in perspective.
And if that scene right there didn't feel like Star Wars, anybody with that, even her outfit and everything, I mean, that felt like proper, It felt like the holiday special a little bit, but it also felt like a New Hope. You know, it was good stuff.
So were people online saying something like what she was talking about was that Andor was a Jedi or something like that?
People are questioning.
People were taking from that.
Yeah, they weren't like adamant. They were just like, so if they sense something in Andor, does that mean he's force sensitive? Like, and I'm like, and I didn't take it that I didn't take it even watching it. I just like it's like Han Solo. You can look at Han Solo. Yeah.
I think the force resides in all living things.
I hate that, but yes, I personally,
Yoda stated
I know.
That, in the tree,
but he's wrong. Yoda's wrong. I remember Chris said Yoda's not the end all.
Yoda just lies. God.
Yoda lies, Scott.
Yoda lies, dude.
And the only reason why I combat that is because I don't like the fact of destiny stuff, right? I mean, you're destined for greatness doesn't mean like you have to go to A, B, C, D, and E, and your path ends, and everybody's born to do this. Because otherwise, like, what's the purpose of?
I don't know. Anakin was destined. Luke was destined. They were all destined.
But there was choices that
your destiny.
Yeah, it was choices that led to those outcomes, right?
And like, so happens all the choices you're making are leading you to this one outcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the Doctor Strange thing, right? Like everything, but this one path.
But her power, I was gonna say, it's like the opposite of Quinlan's, right? Like Quinlan touches something and he can see the past and things that things did. She kind of like could get near it or touch him or something and kind of see where his path is leading, where he's going.
Like this guy really has a lot more to prove, a lot more to do, right? And again, and I made that comparison to Han Solo because it's the same kind of deal. It's like he was in it for himself, but then he changed and then joined the cause at the end, had like that change of heart, right? So his whole path from day one has always led to that moment to help Luke blow up the Death Star, right? So in that sense, I could see like that was Andor's path, right? Everything has to be leading to this. And yeah, man, like the way this show does things on an emotional level, Bix's speech, Andor taking off looking for her, and then helping with K2 at the end, right? Like help it. And then first off, you guys know us. I love droids. We all love the droids. When that scene came, when Cyril entered the room and those 4 K2 droids looked and then looked back, but instead of K2 remained looking at him, I got goosebumps, dude. I was like, I was like, I wanted to cry because
so
it was
good.
The sense of
you're letting us know who's in the room, right?
And
it was like, a really neat way.
Damn it, man! Yeah. It was so cool.
You just gave me chills talking about it.
Seriously, dude.
That was a cool scene. Cool. Him coming to life too, the little Frankenstein deal, and then being so polite about. Could you kindly?
Yeah, can you kindly? Come on, dude.
Fantastic.
And that's awesome. And like I said, I can't wait for next week because it's going to be them too. It's going to be them too in the thick of it.
The impulse control discussion is exactly Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
They went right off the captain or whatever his nuts was. Smee.
Yeah.
Smee. Same exact thing. It was his impulse control. That was pretty cool. No reprogramming. Mm-hmm. He's gonna say some junk about reprogramming. That's not what it really is. That was cool too. that was a whole cool scene. Everything.
Yeah, he's gonna say some junk about reprogramming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool because then like Andor, you know what I mean? Like he was like this lost person and then decided to go help with that K2 everything, and that's it. Those two are attached at the hip at that point, and then it's gonna, like I said, next week is really gonna lead up into the events of Rogue One. So I thought again that whole commitment, it took a long time, and that's why I really enjoy this type of Star Wars, this type of show where it really focused in on every plot point, every character arc. It was just like everything had to match perfectly. Even
the dude that works at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say that.
That was great.
The rebellions are built on hope.
Come on. The line embedded into, right. It's just.
I was going to ask if you guys like that because I loved it.
Absolutely.
Like the little details in there with, he remembered him. He obviously knew who he was and said, I didn't log you in. And because Cassian's done so much, he didn't remember him. It took him a couple minutes to realize like what was from the first night to the second.
I thought he knew immediately.
Like, I think he's been part of this for a while.
Yeah.
I won't tell him where
the bellhop dude.
The bellhop seems like
this. Oh, yeah, he's part of it. Yeah.
He's all, you know where to go.
Yeah, because the whole code was I have friends everywhere or something like that. I know Mon, they use that for Mon, but they use that there too, I believe.
They use that for everybody, but I don't think it was him. He told him his story that first episode about Tarkin killed his dad.
Yeah.
and he felt something. I think he was just there on his own. I don't know. I felt a certain way about that.
Oh,
Rick Jones saying
it could have went either way. I was thinking about it the way you were, Ernie, in the beginning.
Okay.
After a while, I was like, you know what? He said, I forget what he said, but I'm like, oh, he's been here for. I think it was the whole couple times, or I've been here so many times. XYZ. There's no way he didn't recognize him. You know.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Rick, is he talking? Are you talking about K2's origins, comics? And I don't know. I haven't read anything, so yeah, I don't. If you have any source or whatever, point us to it.
That's all right. This one's it.
Yeah.
This one's better.
Live action always supersedes written.
Yeah. I like the part about the hope though, because it bugged me in the books that everybody like post rebellion in the New Republic was giving credit to Jyn for that quote. To quote the great Jyn Erso, they're really on Jin's jock in the books, right? If you've read the books post, they're all over her.
Right.
It's like, wait, I said Cassian told her that. So to hear that it all came from the hotel guy, you know, to Cass, it just I don't know why that.
Like I said, the Gorman massacre is almost like a. It's not as impactful as Order 6, but it's the pivotal moment. Like that could be a timeline. The Gorman massacre is when the Galactic Alliance formed, like leadership formed.
Like
the Gorman
packs had to come together.
Yeah. That event it's triggered this whole thing, like that. Like I said,
because in Rebels, that's exactly what happens.
Yes,
literally, that's the point of the episode. They all come together.
Yep.
Yeah, there were many oh shit moments. Yeah,
Rhino, you're so right.
Literally,
Rhino.
Literally, there was.
So you said last week that they were on the edge of their seat. I'm like, how can we be on the edge of our seat with this show?
I was
this week.
Oh yeah, I mean, because
this week,
because when we're watching it, it all just kind of comes together in a way that when you see this kind of block and you're like, damn, that made everything else more impactful. Moving on, and it's like I said, but the downfall is the slow ride can really derail, you know. But Rhino Hobby, someone taking a laser beam to the head was crazy. Poor Cyril.
Oh, another good moment. Who are you?
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Cyril.
What a kick in the nuts right before you get blasted.
And his face just drops. His face just,
and he'll never know.
Yes.
Cassie will never figure it out.
Yeah.
No.
But Cyril and Dedra having, I mean, I think that was very, very cool. I actually like their dynamics.
How about when he choked her and started?
That's not the first time he choked her, dude.
I was going to say that.
Did you hear the sound she made?
To it.
Did you hear this? That wasn't a, oh no. That was, she's like, oh, we're doing this?
Yeah, she's like, well,
that's what it was.
Right. Well, remember, she always kisses him so aggressively. Like
we have an hour.
Yeah.
Like, so they have that rough sex thing. Like
they do. Come
on, right. Yeah.
It's
so
implied.
When he choked and she was like, okay, right now. All right. But
she made a noise and it wasn't like Lando getting choked by Chewie.
Yeah. But okay,
completely different.
Another Ernie question for you guys that I was wondering. Did Cyril have a thing with that girl who slapped him?
God, that felt weird too.
Kind of looked like it, didn't it?
He ran
like
to her.
Something there. Yeah.
And she turns around and slaps him like, how dare you?
Last week I said that Cyril is almost having a
crisis of conscience.
But what's his name from Rebels?
Right.
Oh, Callus
arched her back.
Callus.
Yeah.
Almost a Callus moment where it's like he's befriending these people for the purpose of Dedra, the Empire, right? Yes. And then they did use him as a pawn, and now the whole all of a sudden the mining equipment's there, and she just threw it in his face like, yeah, but don't you enjoy the promotions? Don't you? We're gonna be famous in the Empire or stuff like that, and that's where he flipped. He flipped, and he realized this when the massacre was happening that it's all manufactured, and he was on the losing side until he saw Andor.
What he thought.
Then he flipped back.
But Cyril is a true believer of the Empire, that government, not the corrupted side of it, meaning Dedra, the Empire, the Emperor himself.
He's on the side of the law and order.
He's with Linus, man. He's like boom. I
expected Linus to be the Imperial soldier walking off the transport at the end.
Oh, that would have been.
I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't Linus.
That it wasn't him.
I'm sad we're never going to see Linus.
But okay, so was he with that chick?
Tails.
Do you think that she was?
I don't think he was with her, Ernie. I think Tales of Linus. I don't think he was but I think he at that moment. I think he really had a moment of clarity and he ran to them, but they already kind of figured things out. Like. You're
just
part of
as
this empire.
people, not as a love interest, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a friendship, a camaraderie.
That's
now
how.
with these people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it, and
but it was awkward.
yeah, it was.
It
but
was 100%. It was awkward.
Yeah. But then the whole story arc of the old man, him, the old man is like, this is all a trap, and then Cyril throwing him down. Then the old man's the one who kills him.
I did find it interesting that in the end, in this block, that the guy who was not quite with the rebels on Gorman, but was there to carry Cinta down below, he was now fully
guy.
Yeah.
That
guy. He was fully one of the rebels now.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool to see him and see that progress.
Again, like that year really puts things into like, it's like you see their conflict, but then when we time jump, now they're all in. Everybody. I mean, from like from Mon to that guy. Now you're really establishing
even Erskine.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That was wild.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. It was, man, but like I think it's so funny. Like during the strike, during the town square thing, I was thinking like Chris is gonna be mad because it's like going on for a long time. We are Gore. Galaxy is watching.
Okay.
And then
do not think I did not think that. Please don't think that did.
No. I knew you were.
Oh, I'm like change the tune. Then he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Mooch is out for a while though.
Mooch is at home like this. All right, we got Chris this week.
Yeah.
I'm like race all over again.
But Mooch was ringing in my ears.
Mooch
he was ringing in my ears. Just what's going on during it. So I'd said, okay, let's focus on it. They did stay on the people a long ass time.
Yeah, but that's
they did go into short bits of things going on.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was fine. The episode was good. Stuff like that you get by.
No,
did you watch the declassified at the end?
I did.
No. I went right to the Rebels.
There was a little bit of. Did you? That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a little bit about the music and building that scene and all about the tension. It was all used to build the tension.
The drums when the stormtroopers come and they did a distortion to the drums. It was
dissonance.
It was just yeah, dude.
It was great.
What's declassified?
Declassified's the after show. There's an after show on the extras. No, on Disney Plus.
Oh, it was on Disney Plus this time?
Oh,
I couldn't find it last week. It was
why don't
it's
they
under
do
extras
that shit when you're done watching it? You know how it always switches.
Yeah, it goes right to Rogue One. Like it goes to
Mine does too.
I went to StarWars.com today and watched it.
So
I
did that before. I just didn't do it this week.
But Scott, you saw it on D Plus?
Yes, sir. I did.
Under extras.
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute.
It's under extras.
It's a 10-minute thing.
It's the behind the scene of the episode.
Yeah. They go beat by beat.
Just like we've been asking for.
I miss DVD stuff, just like we were saying before.
Well, like Game of Thrones does, like Walking Dead always did. Well, Walking Dead was a show. But you know what I mean? Like almost everything, even Rick and Morty does it.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
You got extras on there, and then you got declassified time.
Okay, the extras,
building.
Oh, wow.
So it's
I don't think it was there on the week we found it. I think it was only on .com. They just put it.
It was added week 2. It was added on week.
What it was.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Because I mean, I know we looked all over for it because I saw it on. Like I was telling you guys, well, it's here somewhere. It's not here though.
Well, good to know because
I want to check it out.
The takeaways from a lot of this stuff is like. I know that we'll have to like kind of give our overall opinion on how these are presented to us. If it did work in a different show, like let's say a Mando or let's say Ahsoka, right? If they gave us blocks like this in Ahsoka, does that work? Because they kind of do end. They're like 20, 30 minutes, and they're kind of like these comic books, like a comic book issue. Would this type of format work on an Ahsoka too, or does it work only on this type of like slow drama? I
don't think you could do a year at a time. I think you could do blocks at a time, like
blocks though, right?
Like a movie's worth.
Yeah,
for a couple weeks you could do that, but I don't think you could do a. I don't think you could do a yearly like the originals or the prequels. I don't think you could do that. You could probably have to pull off more of a sequel.
Yeah,
right. Really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good. We've been asking for them to just drop the whole shows, right? Drop them, binge shows so people can binge watch them. And for me, I think that if they dropped Andor and for binging purposes, it would be too heavy. I honestly do think that this would be probably this is the best method to do it.
I
right?
think
to
so.
Drop it in
I
these
feel
three-
this is the best
three-episode
choice as
chunks.
well too.
Yeah.
For this. Now, if we're going
Yes.
to talk in the future for like Ahsoka, I am all in if you want to drop the whole thing, right? Or if we want to go, I mean, if we go weekly though, it gives us content to talk about every week.
It does.
Fantastic, you know?
Yeah, it does because
I think it works so well because I've been calling them a movie every Tuesday. I
Yeah,
gotta go watch my Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, the Ahsoka are sometimes what we get 22 minutes. Sometimes you get this long. You know, these are hitting like 45 for sure.
Yeah.
That is like, okay, yeah, we need these three.
The thing with Ahsoka and Mando, it's the umbrella of Star Wars. Like everything is impactful for the time. Like Andor is the events of the politicalness, but we know like Rogue One is the pinnacle or the moment of truth, right? The Death Star plans being that's where the lead up.
That one's history. Mandalorian's happening real time to us.
Yeah, it also like Mando sets up the galaxy a lot more for like I say like there's the Mando. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
now I did notice that episode 7 this week was also the shortest episode I think we've gotten so far. It was only like 39 or 36 or 39 minutes long.
It was short.
It flew by, but it was also the slowest of the 3 episodes, right? And then next thing you know, those other episodes flew by in a different way. Yeah,
I was already happy in the first episode. I was like, all right, cool.
I know.
The next 2 were ape shit, dude.
I think
what is going on?
We were texting because I started at 6 o'clock, and then I think Chris started like an hour after, and then Scott, you had to wait to catch up, and so I was just like. When Chris is like, all right, I'm all in because like the Force healer stuff, he goes, I'm good, and I was just like sitting there on my couch going like, oh my god, I can't, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to give him like, just wait, what happens, you know, I don't want to say anything like that. I don't want to do that, but at the same time, I wanted to be like, just wait, what happens, right? Howlrunner said that he says hot take, but he doesn't think episode 8 was massacre-y enough. Well,
see,
it's not planet wide, but
hey man, but that's what I need. That episode is what when we're talking this whole. I'm gonna bring it up again.
Yeah,
we're talking for 3 weeks. We're talking about wanting to hate the Empire. That's all we needed right there. That's the kind of stuff where you hate the Empire.
Yeah,
that other thing that bugged me before. Take it out to this point. Doesn't change anybody's story. Not even Bix.
I told you.
Take it out. Nothing there. Yeah.
The crazy thing about it though is you look at the way as the massacre is happening, the media spin that's being put on it by the Imperial Holonet News. Because of that, whenever you see Mon Mothma in episode 9 on stage, she looks like the villain to the eyes of everybody else because she is celebrating, or not celebrating, but mourning the death of these violent
terrorists,
protest terrorists. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there watching it going, oh shit, they are really. Their
whole plan was
thought about that, man. They spun the whole thing. That was incredibly done.
I'm telling you, dude.
Their whole plan was in effect.
The government controlled the media. They turned it was the propaganda machine was on. It was
the Emperor's plan.
I don't know about you guys, but again, I love that whole scene. You know, we saw a little bit in Solo, right, where we heard like the posters and propaganda. And then Rebels, we saw some. But to hear the news going on, it didn't even take me out. I was all in for it. I was trying to hear, like, oh my god, what are they saying? What is happening right now?
Like I said, the galaxy is
speaking in as press pass.
Yeah,
that was.
Oh right, yeah. Like I said, the chant, the galaxy is watching. And again, it was a town square massacre. It wasn't a planet wide siege. It wasn't the siege of Mandalore. It wasn't, but that, like I said, that was it was a ripple in the timeline to propel everything. Mon Mothma's speech in the Senate of calling out Palpatine by name as the tyranny, as the tyranny in charge, basically, and then to immediately know that she is to be whisked off, and that whole search, that whole thing about in that Senate thing, and Cassian, it was like, all right, cool. The one thing I was sitting there like this, and I was like, okay, Cassian, don't deliver her to Yavin because that's gonna screw. I was really worried about continuity and Rebels, and I was like, oh my, here we go. And then of course we went to the safe house. I'm like, all right, cool, we're still safe. And then when they said gold team is going,
Gold Squadron,
is going to take you because they want her to
you have to
deliver
give
a
a speech somewhere first.
And I was like, okay,
then go to Yavin, and that's exactly how it happens.
Yeah, and Chris immediately,
there was that scene where Andor is standing on the platform in front of the Yavin temple. And you got to move, sir. There's an incoming freighter. And I kept going, oh, come on.
Ghost.
Let's see the ghost.
I did too.
Same thing.
I did. And again, that's all we would have had to see. They didn't have to come out. They didn't have my God, there it is.
You could have got the ship halfway down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be like,
or just Chopper, because he's used Chopper. Just have Chopper come down to the Mothma. But Chris,
I was looking the whole time on
same, man. I did every time they panned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You teased me with that freighter.
We're panning for a reason. Where is it?
So everybody, after you watch Andor, this block, go to season 3, episode 18. What's it called? Secret Cargo. It picks up basically right after her speech to the Alliance and how the Alliance comes as an alliance, how the Rebel Alliance forms, and it's like a perfect thing they did. A very good attention to detail in that whole thing, and that's where I was kind of like, okay, this is a test.
Rebels, she'd have gone with Gold Squadron, and she gives the second speech.
The Alliance speech. Yes, yeah. The first speech is the calling out Palpatine for tyranny. The second speech is the formation of the Alliance. The gathering. Who's answering the call?
Oh God, what a great job that she took off her robes and stuff to match. Did you notice that when they were leaving and she threw it down and you see her in the white? I was like, oh,
yeah. She got rid of the blue robe.
Okay, exactly. And that's why I was the same as Scott, and I thought we were going to see it. I did. She took it off. She was in the right clothes. Like, okay, here it is.
Yeah, Stu John. Yeah, it's shocking when showrunners pay attention to canon. Yeah. No one watches already. Yeah, it's 2 different speeches.
2 speeches.
It's one was the Senate speech, one was the Alliance speech.
Because they kept saying that even in Andor, we have to go get her to give the speech after she gave the Senate speech. We need her. Gold Squadron's taking her to give a speech. Yeah, and that's what you see in Rebels.
Yeah, and even like I said, even in Rebels, they're mentioned she just did this in the the hologram of her the Senate speech.
We're in the GOAT. While she's during that part of
I think what he's saying is they had the excerpts of her speech on the Senate. It was different. Yeah, I mean it wasn't word for word, but it was the same. It was the same thing because they did. I think it was like one or 2 lines of because it was like the news reel in Rebels in that episode of her Senate speech. Yeah, it didn't match, but the Andor one was more powerful. So let's see. We got Arthur Henderson. Yes, better late than never. Yeah, I mean look. We're talking Andor here. We talked Tales of the Jedi or Underworld, and like I said, I think I'm very happy to be a Star Wars fan this week. Because of
this felt better.
It felt really good, man. And it's so funny because like we've always told it ourselves as like we're not yes men, but this week we are because you know what? It felt good. Everything that was presented felt really good. So
I definitely had a yes, man. F the first 2 weeks. This is a great week. You just need to do that.
So do you guys one thing that I mean the fight between Cassian and Cyril was great. But I feel like at the end of it though, it was so anticlimactic. It was that moment of who are you? No answer. And that
was the best.
I'm just like but I wanted to see. I don't know, man. I don't know what I expected, but I expected.
For me, I loved it just because of that.
I didn't expect him to die right there.
All Cyril's bullshit. Nothing mattered.
Correct.
Cyril's whole life didn't matter.
That's how I felt, though. Like to show him what he did and what he went through. And what do you mean? Who are you?
Yeah.
Right.
And then his mom just kind of.
Oh, the mom. The moment.
I'm like, what?
That cut away. And she just kind of gave that realization of like he was in the mix of that, and probably
and these lost damn terrorists. She'll be with one spout.
Right?
She'll be a giant hater. Yep, big.
Immediately she will
sympathizer.
Their stuff works.
We got what's his name? Scott Melfi.
Melshi shows up. Yeah, that was cool.
Melshi shows up, and the whole, like I said, the Yavin scenes were awesome. At the just so and Draven, right?
General Draven. Yeah,
General Draven was in it again. Like I said, they didn't use Jimmy Smits. Okay, It worked.
Here's everybody else.
Everybody else is in there.
Go re-CGI Kenobi. I think, okay, and Smits did great with young Leia. I think Ben Bratt and young Leia would have been absolutely ridiculous.
I think it would have worked. It would definitely work. So 3 episodes next week to lead up to Rogue One, and it's going to be this,
What's that? I'm sorry. I was reading out loud. I never do that.
Oh, no.
Donna was mentioned. Donna was mentioned.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, he was. So again, I think it's a year expand. So it's going to be 1 year before the Battle of Yavin. But I don't know if
it's within the year, right? So it's hard. It's not like 365 days.
Oh, gotcha. It
could be 2 months leading into Rogue One.
Sure.
Right, because Rogue One goes right into the Battle of Yavin, just about.
Yeah.
So it's just in that year. And that's the tricky part about doing it year by year and saying to BBY and stuff, because you're like, one could be in January and one could be in August.
We're still within that year of that. Like, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But I think it's going to be cool, Nick, because again, we're going to get the dynamic of K2 and Andor. Really,
I'm so excited.
And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And I don't think we're seeing the last of Krennic. I don't think we've seen the last. I kind of expecting a Galen Urso something mentioned, or because if we're going to get more Krennic,
they mentioned the Yadu.
They did, yeah.
The lab on the Yadu.
On the Yadu.
Yep. So that puts us at least there.
Hellrunner.
Actually, you know what I want? Sorry, you know what I want next week is K2 and B2 emo.
Come on, man.
That'd be amazing.
Like 3PO and R2.
Balloons. You get balloons for that.
He's got next week is him going to get B2 back. Come on,
we'll have him back. It's a year later. He'll just have him. We don't. That's
fine.
BMO
that's fine. Just I need him there with.
We know where he is. He can pick him up easy.
Yeah.
Two things from the trailer. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen yet. One is just Andor like striding towards something on Yavin, wearing the full jacket.
Yes.
And the second thing we haven't seen is the ISB security soldier.
Oh, right.
The armored up ISB soldier.
Drop that target today. Black Series. Yeah.
Those are the only two things I think we haven't seen from the trailer yet.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Can you guys think of anything else that we haven't
seen?
The
ISB armored soldier didn't come out today. Those weren't the guys that went through the rookies that got killed.
No, they're all black. They were like the mud troopers. They look like mud.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they look like the riot troopers from season 1. You're right. So those two scenes, I can't think of, honestly. I'm trying to think if there's another Luthen or whatnot.
Hey, so when the barricades were going out, I'm an idiot, and if you watch it again, you probably won't. I'm sitting there, man, they have Gungan shields.
Yes.
No, it was the sliding glass doors.
Oh, gotcha. but in season 1, there was a Gungan shield there
in the shop. But I mean, when they were starting to barricade before the massacre, I'm like, oh man, those are barricades. They're gonna use Gungan tech right now.
I got you.
I got
cool.
you. No, and then I realized the door closed. I'm like, I'm done with this show.
Yeah. Is there a Dedra and Clea meetup like face to face?
I didn't
trailer. I don't remember that.
I have to see that. I have to.
That's good. That would be the.
That's interesting.
I want to see that fight like Cyril versus Cassian. I want to see him go at it.
There he is.
They gave us a lot of cool Imperial outfits. I don't remember. Had we seen a black Imperial outfit with a cape?
Yes. Last year. And
Andor
season 1 on Ferrix.
That one looks sharp.
They released two figures last year. One was like the Mud Trooper black, and then had the officer with the black cape.
The black one with the cape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that look. I'm like, oh.
So I do think, though, next week, for prediction-wise, I think Clea, Luthen, Dedra, I think they're dying. I don't think we'll ever see Bix again. I think that was good to leave that alone. B2 better be.
I don't want Dedra to die. I kind of want that character.
I think she's going to be lost now
until the Death Star. And then the Death Star.
Maybe we won't.
She's getting a promotion. She's getting a promotion to ISB on the Death Star.
On the Death Star. Yeah.
That would work. There we go. Yeah, and just exactly. All right. Well, you think Luthen's gonna die though? Like, Luthen?
Do we ever have a final? I don't know. I've heard us nerds talk about it for so long. Do we ever have a final mention, like really canon, of who was the missing chair for?
Krennic. Well, the speculation was that was Krennic's chair.
My speculation is his Thrawn's, but whatever. It's because he's blue. You guys don't want him in the room. He's higher ranked. He's higher ranked.
Well, Krennic was the head science officer at that moment, right?
He'd be on the other side of the table of Tarkin, I think.
And
Opposite
but
Tarkin.
he was. I mean, he died like a day earlier. So like, and Thrawn's been missing for a little bit.
I don't know. Hey, he is in the. Hey, here's what's getting me.
Oh,
Andor was this close to Thrawn, right? Because that's adjacent to the Rebels episode, and Thrawn is going after her.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Senator. Mon. They knew all about it. And by the way, just because the episode is fresh, Mon Mothma said when Hera says, "Oh, we have Ezra Bridger," she's like, "I'm aware of Ezra Bridger."
Yeah.
So during Andor right now, she is aware of a living Jedi, right? Like a couple. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I don't know if she's aware of a living Jedi, but she's definitely aware that Ezra Bridger made the speech, right? He made the speech calling out for everybody to stand up against the tyranny of the Empire from his parents. Yeah, Mon Mothma.
So because Ezra gave a speech to on Lothal.
Yes. I think that's why she would know who Ezra Bridger
That was early. That was on Empire Day in like the first season.
Yes.
Right, Empire Day,
Season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Connor Williams checking it. Okay, Connor. I don't know if this is a true leak, but this actually sounds really good. He says Lonnie, but I think you meant Clea. Clea is tasked by Luthen to get to the bottom of what the Empire wanted on Gorman. Dedra gets suspicious of Lonnie's increased interest and sets a trap exposing Luthen and allies. They knew. I think they. Like Luthen trying to get to the bottom of what was on Gorman, right? Something's gonna go down. And
Luthen doesn't have to get to the bottom of anything on Gorman. Cassian will tell him.
Cassian was told by the Cyril was told what they were hunting because Dedra when he was choking out, Dedra said they're here for this.
There's a rock. There's
a rock. And
Yeah.
it's like this whole thing is a diversion because he questioned the mining equipment. But that speculation of the mining equipment was like this rumored thing, even in the Senate. Why are they there? And
Luthen, I don't think he needs to know what he doesn't have to investigate. He's a rebel, not the Imperials. He doesn't have to investigate what happened. Cassian told him the Empire came out here and wrecked everybody, just like Mon said. Because Mon,
Luthen wanted this to happen. Remember?
Yeah, right. So this is no reason for him to get involved in Gorman anymore.
Yeah,
right?
because he wanted a massacre like this so people rise up. He didn't want people to die, but he said it's a necessary evil, and he's been wanting this since day one, right? He wants this to be like a shock to the system. Maybe people will wake up, So that whole thing is as far as like the plans of the Death Star and happening. That whole happens during Rogue One. And that's when they discovered they're building a planet killer. They're building these things, So, like I said, even Andor's prison stent, right, where they were building the segments. No one's really covering that, right? It's just that because I don't even think Krennic told Dedra what they wanted it for, right? They didn't say Death Star.
No, not at all.
They just said they just need this mineral.
It's the energy project or something like that.
It's unlimited power.
Yeah. Unlimited power. There you go.
Which I thought was great. I caught that too.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
Nice.
Yeah, the aha.
Yeah. Palpatine's electrical, unlimited power. Make a logo.
Exactly. Can you guys think of anything else in Andor that we've kind of didn't hit on?
There's a point on here on Dedra's every time she had to go talk to Portagast.
Yeah.
Right. How she would go in that secret room and she didn't still know what was going on. He would talk her down and all this stuff. And that last bit, she was so emotional and broken from everything. Partially, it was just such a neat scene.
She's been staunch Imperial breaking down for a moment and then straightening herself
trying
up.
To. She was still hunched over and like a mess when she did it. Couldn't get herself straight. I think that was
she must have an ulcer.
When you were saying awards going around them all, they're all pretty good, but I think Dedra is the one.
Dedra's great.
That for some reason really is wild. I don't know. They're all great. They're all great.
It's I know that these are directed by a lot of different people. Gilroy is the showrunner, right? He wrote it, and he produces and stuff. I said,
his son wrote this episode. I don't know if he writes them all.
His brother, right? Yeah,
whatever. It is.
But
there's three Gilroys.
It just shows you like when I was mentioning this last week about hand the keys to Filoni and Gilroy, and it was mainly for this purpose of like, because these guys can get this kind of performance out of these actors, and you can get Dave Filoni to write amazing stuff, right? So with that too, hand in hand, because again, you go back to the prequels, right? On paper, they work really well. Like it's fantastic, but you have Academy Award winning actors that can't act for crap during the prequels. And you can't get that performance out of them. And Gilroy and his team can, and that's why I think I gravitated from day one, is because of that. It's that you can get these performances, and I've wanted since day one, and I've told you this, Star Wars, I wanted the prequels to have this feel and look to it. Maybe not as the violent and stuff like we're getting now, but I'm talking about like the way things are framed, the way the dialogue, the way the speeches marinate, way things are. I feel like fantastic. That's why I really loved Andor 1, especially this season. And
absolutely. I wanted to point out Stu John's his comment right here. Her dedication to the Empire will cost her as much as Andor's dedication to the Rebellion. I want to take that a step further. I think that what we're watching is Dedra and Andor, the polar opposites of one another throughout this entire series. I mean, one is very dedicated to, law and order. The other one just wants to get a payday. But as he goes along, he's gets more and more dedicated to the Rebellion.
Right.
She finds Cyril. He's got Bix. There's these parallels of these two people who are using others to fight each other, and it's kind of.
So it's like their stories. It's Andor's and Dedra's stories.
Yeah, but they're the polar opposites of
absolutely
mirror images of one another, and that's a.
And it's all about
like Obi-Wan and Maul, the way they do that too. The same principle.
Yeah, and it's all about the ideology, what they're fighting for. Dedra's fighting for an empire that she believes in. She grew up in it, right, and all that stuff. And Andor grew up with a rebellious family, like the adopted family that died for
his family died, and he was taken in by a rebel.
And his dad hung in that square, right?
So yeah, you're right. They were both born into it, and
now Hell Runner Base asking, do you think we'll see Galen and Bodhi? Bodhi is a possibility, I think, because we see we're supposed
Galen
to
sends Bodhi. So
right.
I think you have one, you have the other.
I think you're right.
That would be great.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, he's directly, here's the message. Here's who to go see. Saul Guerrero.
We catch Krennic on Iadu, see that whole move going on. Like Galen realized it's the time now. This is screwing us up. It's about to go down.
Yeah.
I want more Krennic. Put more Krennic.
Yeah, Connor. Dedra was an orphan. Cassian was orphan. Yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, it's like their two worlds, and we're getting the rebellion, empire, purity of
in
these
between
two.
them.
Yeah, and it's it's a true form of art, if I may say, a masterwork of if you will.
It's poetry.
It's poetry. It rhymes. Poetry. Yes. It rhymes. So it's a bigger Death Star.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop it.
It's going to be an army of Death Stars.
Somehow a bigger Death Star.
There's a freaking fleet of Star Destroyers that all had Death Star tagged on it.
Yeah, exactly. A fleet of them.
And that was the joke. We had clowned around that we were going to get a fleet of Death Stars, and damn if we didn't get a fleet of
We did.
Yeah. Smaller versions.
They were just pointier.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, maybe you see how Saul loses his leg. Yeah. Maybe we'll.
Or at least explain it.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to see. I hope we do. I mean, we got an hour and a half.
Again.
We got an hour and a half. Or 3 hours next week to do it, to dive into it. So.
Well, they've been as long as 2.5 hours in a week. That's more than enough time to hit everything. They have enough.
Yeah.
This was the lowest week, and it covered so much.
Yeah, it did, man. Like I said, it's emotion. Like to even go back and rewatch, it's like I got to put myself in a mindset now. It's like it's like because it's not all happy. It's not.
I watched that one twice with no problem.
Yeah.
That was like all right.
So, all right. So, what other threads from Rogue One that are still kind of dangling that are the connective tissues with Andor? I mean, is there anybody else? Kills. Right. We have to find out what he's after there, and that was the dude. The dude knew something about the Death Star, right? The planet killer or something like that, right?
He just came from a different planet.
Remember?
Damn it! Where did this come from? He said it in there, and they've got a planet killer.
Right.
Planet killer.
The only thing, it was over Scarif. Or the Scarif, that's where the plans were. The Death Star is
But how did he find
where?
out?
But where is the Death Star right now? Like where is it?
I don't remember. Is it
just
just near
in
It's not
space
Geonosis. It's not
No?
Geonosis anymore because it was moved out after in Rebels, so it was not in Geonosis.
Because it was
Probably floating
moved
over
to
Batuu right
Alderaan.
now. It was just there.
Right.
Yeah, it was just in deep in space. Because again,
If
it was
Disney
moved.
has anything to say, they're like, the Death Star is over Batuu right now. Can you please
Yeah,
do that?
I'd take it.
Please.
But that would be kind of
And
cool,
Disney
right? Like
will
to see
figure
a
out how to
location.
project the Death Star into the air at night.
Drones, man. Let's go. They could do
Yeah,
it.
the drones. There
Epic
you go.
Universe has flying dragons. They can do a Death Star.
Where was it? Where was it in Rogue One? Wherever it was in Rogue One is probably where it is right now.
Right. It was just free floating in space.
Yeah,
it went over
the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because it went to Jeddah, blew up the city of Jeddah, and then it went to Scarif, and then blew up Scarif. But where was it before?
Somewhere in
Jeddah?
between.
Yeah,
just the middle of space.
Yeah, it was just.
It'd be really cool if they took it, if they showed us that old, what was it in the old Legends book? It was in the Maw is where it was made, like in between four black holes or something like that, where people couldn't get to it.
Right.
That would be pretty cool if they introduced something like that. But I think just in space.
Oh, at the end of
should be hard
season 1, or
I know it goes to Alderaan.
Yeah. Like I said, it went to Jeddah, Scarif, Alderaan.
Did you catch that little Easter egg?
And then Yavin.
Which one?
Where they said the representatives for Alderaan were not showing up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Bale the representative? Wait.
Yeah, Bale would be Alderaan.
No, they said something about Alderaan in one of them. Something representatives are not available from Alderaan. They canceled again.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it was in there, something like that. And I was like, I get it.
Where was it in season? I don't think it showed a planet where it was. If they did have to see that end.
No, it was just sitting out there. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just there.
When they were putting the laser together.
Yeah, and I can't think of Rogue One where it's at, so it's all right.
Let's
not break our brains over it. Space is a big place.
Yeah, I'll run there. I think something like that.
Everything I'm seeing just keeps saying it was built, it was constructed near Geonosis, right? Which we already knew it was done.
Yeah.
That was done. So
well, maybe we'll see it in the next week's block, like where that guy came from, and then so I mean that would be great. And I think that would make the whole Star Wars thing full circle if we saw like Galen and Brody and stuff. That'd be amazing. Flipping awesome.
Although
it makes too much sense.
But it's also at the same time, it's not their story, right? This is all supposed to be Andor, and it's where he was that led up to that moment. So, but at the same time, we're also seeing Seesaw. So
we're supposed to go right into Rogue One, and that was the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But Cassian hunted that guy down, saying they're building a planet killer. So like it's his mission. Right. It's his mission. Yeah. It does. The lines do kind of add up that he would be involved in this operative. Somebody's telling stories of a planet killer. We need to find out who. And Galen sends Brody to Saw, but and then that dude on what I forgot that station name.
Station.
What's it? I'm sorry.
Station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, people do talk around there, so it's the words getting around, the Death Star is getting around. It was in the Thrawn books too. Remember, he went and asked the Emperor about it. This project you have, the Death Star, and then the Emperor was all, "What the hell?" So it's supposed to be secret, but it's getting around. So I want to see that where the spies start kind of. This one felt very spy-like more than the other one.
Oh yeah.
Right? I see more of that next week.
Yeah.
Admiral
Raddus is in that fleet that came that's forming. They're on Yavin right now. Like
that's awesome.
It's part of it. The Mon Calamari is part of that Rebel Alliance that answered the call because there was a Mon Calamari ship in the Rebel.
I'd imagine Akbar is going to be there. Since he's going to be in the Thrawn or the Ahsoka stuff, right?
Yeah.
Thrawn versus Akbar, which is going to be awesome.
And we're going to see him where? Yeah, on Yavin.
Well, we should see him join up here soon. Somewhere it could be Yavin.
Yeah, maybe
that is definitely not Geonosis.
And then what if it's
100%?
Yeah, I do.
Edu,
where they
Edu,
where they where Galen that's I mean, you think if they're doing the technology, then the Death Star should be above that planet.
Probably, maybe.
You think so? I mean, maybe. Yeah.
Be cool though.
That's not Geonosis. So
no.
Show. It took me a second to find that. Sorry.
Awesome. It is above a planet then. Awesome.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that it was above.
Yeah, I thought it was just space, dude. It's like, yeah.
All
right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up. And I think, dude, I just look, Lucasfilm guys, more tales and more tales of anything. Tales of blank. And I think
Tales of Exegol would work. Let's get the how he came back. Shut us all up.
Please
what
do.
the hell Exegol is? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
The history of Exegol could be the first 3 episodes. You know, I mean,
I would love it.
Just give me one a week. Work straight.
Yeah. More of that. More Asajj, Ventress. Keep up what Andor this block did. I think it made a lot of people happy, and we will see what's happening. What depresses me, someone asked me, "What's after Andor?" Well, nothing. But Visions 3. I think that's it for this year.
I'm done after this.
I'm done. We're taking a hiatus. No.
I won't even watch Visions.
Yeah, I mean I don't even know when that is, but yeah. So
not to bash your shit, Ernie. Sorry.
right. I like it. All right.
I know.
Luke's
Stu
yeah, maybe.
Stu John wants to leave us on this note. Don't bring back Mace Windu. Okay.
I agree.
All right.
I know Scott agrees on that one.
The only way I would do it is if he took the place of Sabaoth in this movie.
Yeah,
bring him as the evil reincarnated clone that's kind of gone mad.
Yeah.
Have you seen the fan-made Heir to the Empire remake that's out there? The animation.
I did see the animation.
It is. You know, it's everything. It's Heir to the Empire, and then when Thrawn goes to the where is it that Thrawn goes to? Mount Tantus. I don't know what the world is. It's just he goes to Mount Tantus and he comes across the Jedi Master, and it's Mace Windu's clone that turns around.
Oh, nice.
I will send you a link for it. It's everything we've been talking about for years. And it's just kind of
all I want. That's the way to get, if Mace went back, that's how you get Mace back.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great animation, but it's good enough to just be exciting and fun.
Especially if it follows the story properly.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Well, everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to shut up now, and I just want to say thank you. Happy May 4th for everybody that was there, and continue to celebrate Star Wars. Ernie is here. He's going to check us out properly. With that, Ernie, it's all yours.
Thank you guys, everybody who jumped in the pit tonight, everybody who's watching, part of the replay crew. Please do me a favor on your way out, or if you're watching right now, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss when we're on, and all that great content that we have. Different shows going down on Monday, reviews, and much, much more. We have a ton of stuff for you guys to catch up on, so you don't want to miss out on it. Go tell a friend. Yes, Star Wars has been great. We will see you back here next week again, and invite some people over. If they're at work talking about it and everything, say, hey, check out these guys as they break it down. Come on over and join us. You're welcome anytime, and we'll get into more Star Wars. If you can't wait that long, find us on all social media, especially out there on Facebook with your Sarlacc Digest Central, and the Discord also is jumping over there.
Link in below. Links below.
Yeah, the link is below, so join the Discord and get us some talk there. Immediately following, after you watch Andor, you just can't hold it in. Jump on over there, and we will see you next week. Don't forget to visit Tashi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs, and also check out some videos over there for 3D printing and everything. And look at that lovely droid sitting right there next to Mooch. I think it's so awesome.
You can find him to buy on Tashi Station Emporium.
Yes. Yeah.
Only Republic credits, please. And then with that, again,
Republic credits, only something real.
Monday, a new toy chest is happening. We're going to go over all of the May 4th drops and what's the future of what's going on. So, of course, like and subscribe, notification. With that, Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Pit.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.